Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
And good morning to you. It's time for Coffee Ann on ON Radio. It's Wednesday morning. It's July 26th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Across the table from me, back from his fabulous vacation.
Yeah.
All the way to
New Hampshire.
Tim
All the
Draper
way.
from Navigant Credit Union.
Good morning, everybody.
Did you live free up there?
I lived free. I didn't die. That's the important thing.
Okay.
But it did rain a little. But
That's Dave Richards right over there, filling in for Melissa Smith today, who cannot make it. Yes.
Okay. Hi.
And this segment of Coffee Ann, first segment, sponsored by the St. Antoine Communities.
it is.
So
Hit
please
the
go over
tape.
there and we don't have anything.
They have a great
You don't have
continuum
it? I thought we had
continuum of care,
recorded ones for them.
from assisted living to skilled care nursing center.
Yes.
The continuum of care.
That's right. If you would like to,
And cool concerts.
very cool concerts in
Yeah.
the summertime. That is true. So if you're interested in learning more about the St. Antoine community, you should call Melissa Smith. And I have no idea what that number is. We should commit it to memory like they do
should.
with the Scott McGee number.
Mm-hmm. Take a look at
Your
our
email
website,
one
there,
is-
Dave. It's right on, our
certainly
front
is.
page there.
When all
It certainly
when all
is. You
fails,
can-
look at the website.
It's
That's
right
right.
there. It's in the upper left-hand corner. The Excellence 767-3500.
Thank
There
you
you
very
go.
much, Dave. So I was in New Hampshire on Sunday, by the way.
Oh, were you?
In beautiful Ware, New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
Weare.
Oh, where,
it's
not
like
where.
you didn't,
Weir, yeah.
like you didn't know where you
I
were.
didn't know. That's right.
Okay.
Oh boy, what were you doing there? What is there? Is there anything there?
No,
No. In Weir, there's
Mine-
Weir's Beach and lots of stuff.
not
to do
that
there.
weird.
No.
The my wife and
Is there anything there? Where?
My wife
Where?
and daughter were attending a bridal shower.
Oh, you were not attending? So you were
No.
sitting in the car
No.
waiting?
He held the horse. They had the bridle. Yeah.
I hung out at the gazebo.
Oh, nice.
Anyway, moving on to things to talk about. Now, if you guys want to make money,
You mean
that
Joe?
would be nice.
Joe and I, or
Tim and Dave.
Tim and Dave?
If
Yep.
you want to make
Is that
money,
the new morning show when you're on vacation, Tim and Dave?
that'll be fun. But this is how you make money. You find out what Joe thinks is going to happen in the sports world,
All right.
and you bet exactly against it.
Of course.
Exactly
Did you
against
think
it.
they were not going to trade Kike Hernandez?
No,
Oh, all right.
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm actually
right.
glad they traded Kiki
All
Hernandez. No, this goes to Patrice Bergeron because I
Oh.
thought I was 100% sure
One more year.
he was
He's
coming
gonna-
back for
going
one more
for the
year.
even 20.
You know,
And
there's-
because he was instrumental in getting Milan Lucic signed.
Right.
I said, so he wants to come back and play. They won't be in the same line, but he'll want to come back
Yeah.
and play with him. Okay, one more year for Patrice. Absolutely incorrect.
yeah. No, you know what? Go out on
19
top,
years.
man. Don't jump the shark. That's what happens
Yeah.
to too many athletes. They jump the shark. Tom Brady, I think, went one year at least too long. He should have left after the Super Bowl.
Well, he was trying to see if he could get one
Right.
more, but he
Right.
didn't. Okay. So I've already put it out there on the social media. I want to see if it picks up any steam. That the
By the way, I
yes.
want to know what happened to Tom Brady.
Mad to him.
I mean, after he
He's
was
doing Hertz
finally
commercials.
done, after he was finally done, did he go down to the local burger joint and have a Big Mac?
Oh. I
mean,
know.
did he-
I don't think so.
You know how he's on that diet
oh yeah,
Avocado
for his entire
and-
career.
Right.
I
Did
don't
he
know.
actually? Did
think
he
he would
become a
like to do
junk food junkie?
Oh, I don't think so. He still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
He's still working out.
You'll see him this fall. I don't know who's got him, Fox or
Fox has him.
for
Like $300
analysis.
million
So, there you
10-year
go.
contract or something like that.
But here's what I want to pick up steam, and you can pick up this mantle if you want. Patrice Bergeron has won the Selke Award for 6 times. What is the Selke Award?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad
It's
you
something.
asked.
It's something in horse racing, isn't it?
No.
No, that's
Okay.
Selke.
Selke is named after an actual player. The award goes to the NHL forward who demonstrates the most skill in the defensive component of the game.
Huh.
Patrice has run it 6 times.
How long is his career? 13
19 years.
Oh, 19 years. Okay.
It is time to change the name of the award.
Oh, to the
No one
Bergeron
knows
Award?
to the Bergeron Award.
Oh.
I've got 3 people that gave me a thumbs up on that.
I'll give you a thumbs up on that. I think that
I think
that's,
they should change the name of it.
Right. They say that. Who was I was listening to somebody yesterday. They said there's the top 3 players in Boston that you'll always remember are Bobby Orr,
Bobby Orr, yep.
Ray Bork,
Ray Bork,
and
Patrice
Patrice
Bergeron
Bergeron.
comes in third now.
Right. Those are the 3. And
Mhm.
there's a lot of others
Not
in
me.
there along the way, but
I got Johnny Busick in my list.
Well, he's
up there.
He's up there, but it'll come after Patrice Bergeron now, and then it's the Busicks and
Yeah, but
Esposito.
I add in
and-
what he did when he got off the ice.
Well, no, they're
working
just
for the
talking about
Bruins.
what he did on the ice.
Yeah.
But Johnny Busick is in the top 10. Certainly in the
Absolutely.
top 10. So, but then it's the Cam Neely's and Rick Middleton's
Right.
and
They
Zdeno
know.
Chara's
Yep.
will come after that. So, of course, now the big question is, will they name another captain, and who will it be?
They don't have to name captains.
They don't
Bruce
have to.
Cassidy.
They don't have to. and
Butch Cassidy?
Bruce.
Oh, Bruce.
No, he's coaching somewhere else.
Yeah, that
so
would be a
no,
good
they
idea.
won't do that. But to me, it comes down. So here's where you can make some money. I can guarantee. No,
Great.
it comes down between Marchand and Pasternak.
Oh yeah, who's younger?
Pasternak is younger.
Interesting.
So, or they could give it to Krejci unless he retires too.
I mean, being a captain's all about leadership as well, right? So
Yeah.
you'd have to wonder which one of those guys is going to be is going to step up and be the leader,
Well,
and then that's the guy you throw in as captain. But who's got that capability? Maybe they both do.
I think they do. But Pasternak might be edging him out because he's younger and he got that great contract last year.
Yeah.
But you want to be loyal to your older guys too.
Mm-hmm.
Look how long Bergeron waited to be captain with Zdeno hanging around.
Right.
And they finally gave it to him.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think either one would be perfectly fine.
You know the Bruins pulled a joke on Patrice Bergeron after Zdeno Chara left, and they said we're announcing who the new captain is, and they announced in the locker room to Marchand.
Oh no.
Yeah, and Bergeron's face just falls to the floor.
Oh, that's real nice.
And they
That's
said,
real nice.
Oh, we're just kidding.
Yeah,
It's really
did
Bergeron.
they do that on April 1st?
I'm not sure when they
April
did it,
Fools.
but everybody was in on it, so they all got a good laugh, except Patrice.
Yeah, I don't understand why. Seems like he would be.
All right,
happy
well,
about that.
best of luck to him, and his number 37 will go to the Rafters, and he'll certainly get into the NHL Hall of Fame. He
Yeah.
put money on it.
But, oh boy.
You realize they're going
you-
to have to go to 3-digit numbers on uniforms after all this.
Eventually,
Yeah,
they will.
right.
They
They
will.
retire everybody's
Eventually,
number.
this is something that's not going to end well. You're going to end up with
Can you
3-digit
say, oh,
numbers.
you know what? You've been retired long enough. We're going to put you back into circulation.
That's
That's
right.
Your
right.
number's been out there.
They're going to
long
look up there and go, Milt Schmidt? No,
Yeah.
never heard of him. All right, other things going on. The UPS strike has been averted.
enough. Yeah.
Does that,
That was
be a
gonna-
big...
Yeah, because that was going to affect logistics like across the world.
The
They're
world,
like they're
too?
the second largest, I think.
Behind DHL? I mean,
It's like
worldwide.
FedEx, well, worldwide probably
Yeah.
not, but FedEx,
All right.
the UPS, DHL, even the Postal Service, I think, has got a pretty
Yeah.
big parcel service.
Well, if you're sending anything by UPS, by the way, those prices are going up. You see the raises that those guys are getting?
No, was it just the part timers or was
No,
it full
both of-
timers?
both
Both
of
of them
them.
got it.
So we're,
Interesting.
we're starting at everybody gets like a $2.75 an hour raise,
Wow.
and as the years go on, it gets up to $7.
Wow. Well,
So they got a pretty sweet deal.
it's interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of. It seems to be that there's a lot of labor disruption right now happening. I mean, now you've got the screen actors have been. I mean, the writers have been on strike. Screen actors have been on strike. UPS threatened to go on strike. There's an automotive.
UPS will be on strike, according to the union. They said, we don't care if you sign it today. It's going to take 3 weeks to ratify it, and once the 1st of August comes, this is it.
They're
You know,
gonna
we're
work.
not going to work until it's all signed.
So
Really?
is
I
that like
didn't- I hadn't
is that
heard
going to be
that.
like a vacation? I
Yeah,
hadn't
that
heard
was
either.
that was on the national news yesterday.
Huh.
So you know,
So
you-
they want
you're
they're going to take a vacation.
it's been weeks, and we haven't sat down.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our deal, and we're just telling you, you can't mess around with us that way. You know,
is
we're
this-
going to come to an agreement sometime, and it doesn't matter if we come to an agreement today or tomorrow. It's going to take 3 weeks to get it ratified and signed and in place. During those 3 weeks, if August 1st comes, we ain't working.
Is that directly from the Teamsters?
That's directly from the Teamsters.
No, we'll see.
That's-
They still got a
that
few
was
days to
reported yesterday.
Hammer that out.
Yeah, it just doesn't
see what
seem like,
happens.
doesn't seem like that's what they usually do, right? When they settle a contract, even though they may settle it on the last day, that they would strike anyway. And
Just,
Do a
yeah,
work
but you're
stoppage?
dealing with the Teamsters here.
I know, I know.
You know, I mean, they have a rep.
Well, you get the UAW is next. United Auto Workers. I think their contracts are
strike?
coming up. I don't know if they're going to strike, but their contracts coming up. So there's
Well, they were
discussions
ticked
about
off that they weren't being taken seriously, and that the management was letting it go toward the end to try to have the squeeze of time on there, because all negotiations many times have an element of the squeeze of time, and the union felt that it would be advantageous 3 weeks ago to come up with the agreement that they came up with yesterday.
Yeah.
And because you didn't sit down and do that agreement 3 weeks ago, there's going to be a penalty. See if we care.
Tit for tat.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see. Let's see if they work on that. I mean, they basically got a week
Yeah,
to get that hammered out,
just
so they
think
don't
that's a
strike
little-
on the 30 on the 1st.
That's a little.
So, I
Petty,
particularly,
but-
I
Yeah.
particularly don't think that there would be informational picketing, but there would be work stoppages
Right. Okay.
during that interim.
And that's just
that's what I'm thinking.
That's just to show management, hey, listen, we're not messing around. Next time you do this, don't do it this way, because we'll still stop. We'll still stop your work. We'll still do a work stoppage. Interesting. I don't know.
It was one of those, I think, don't tick us off things. Oops, you ticked us off.
yeah,
Now you'll pay.
right.
All right. Other things going on in the news. Front page story today's call. I want
Oh,
to
yeah.
say things, but I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to.
Offend anyone?
No, not offend. I don't want to say any not blasphemous. What am I?
Well, I think you're.
What's the
well,
word? What it's lawyerish, slanderous. That's what I don't want to
slanderous,
be. I just a real beauty here
Right.
here in the.
Well, the police
call.
report, which
Yeah.
was quoted by Russ Olivo, and the story today about Mr. Cody
Yes.
it could be taken the police report could be taken no other way than unflattering toward the suspect.
It's a man by the name of Alex Cody. He's 25. He's charged with felony domestic assault, domestic vandalism, domestic disorderly conduct in the connection with the latest incident which took place last Sunday.
Now, if you
this
remember
man-
that name.
Yeah, this man shot his father to death. Okay?
This
Back
was
in
the one-
2021.
Yeah.
Now, that was ruled in self-defense.
Was that Plaza Village, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a Plaza Village, and he got in an argument with his father, and his father resorted to strangling him. There was evidence that was beginning to be strangled. Evidence on Cody's neck, and he was carrying a gun, which he had bought for another purpose. Pulled it out and shot his father dead. But the judge, after listening to all the evidence, said there was a reasonable assumption that Cody was acting in self-defense because another person was angry at them. They were an authority figure, and they had their hands around his neck. So they let him walk on the. It wasn't murder; it was self-defense.
Now
It was a lawful killing.
But
Or-
now he's been threatening to kill his girlfriend.
Oh,
Well, they got into a fight, according to the story. And remember,
Yeah.
all we have is what was published in the call.
Right.
But there's a lot of quoting of the police reports, so you tend to start believing some of those facts because they're part of the police
yeah.
report. They're still yet to be proven in court, by the way. And this person is free on bail. So everybody has to understand, hasn't had the day in court yet, and so there may be other evidence that would make this sound different. But what is published today makes it sound like they had a fight. 2:30 in the morning this past Sunday, the young lady asks him to leave.
And he says no.
And he says no, and they get it really angry. And he, according to the police
according to
report,
her-
pulls out a 6-inch knife, threatens her with it in a most heinous way. Read the call if you want to know all the details. I'm not going to repeat them.
Well, I will.
And stabs the television set with the 6-inch knife, which is the domestic vandalism, I believe.
innocent television set.
And then he finally does leave without killing her in front of her kids, and starts sending threats via text. Further late in the story,
Put it in writing.
Yeah, that's what you want to do.
further late in the story,
Which is also a crime, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Late in the story, he is quoted by police officers that, of course, he returned home. His home is in Gloucester. Gloucester police arrest him, hand him over to the Woonsocket police, and during his booking at the Woonsocket police headquarters, he is quoted as saying, "I should have beat her up." I'm paraphrasing a little bit. "I should have beat her up. At least then I'd be put in jail for doing something."
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah, he threatened to kill her in front of the kids so they could watch her bleed out. That's a
Oh,
quote.
nice.
That's nice. I killed my dad and have nothing to lose. I'll kill you too and not think twice about it. That's another quote from the patrolman's police report.
Yeah. So he comes across as someone who certainly has
Anger
some
management
anger
issues.
problems, that's for sure.
Right.
And someone like that, I can't imagine being relicensed to carry a firearm. When you have those, if those things are proven that he actually said that's in the report, then I don't imagine he'll be able to get a license to carry a firearm after that. If you're arrested for these types of charges, that's, or he may have lost the license on the first charge. I don't know.
Another good quote from Mr. Cody. I'd rather have you beat up. LOL, nah. You're just going to get your head stomped in like he got, and we going to be out. So he's an English major, too.
Oh, boy.
By the way, he is out on $10,000 secured bond. He's due back in court October 30th.
Yeah.
So he's got the rest of the summer off.
Well, there you go. It's just so sad. It's sad that
Yeah, it is.
the world turns to this, and you can't. Oh man, and it's just more and more common. You hear it more and more.
All right, and the woman says that they've been they've been boyfriend girlfriend for about 6 months. I think it's come to an end though.
I think so. I hope so.
Well, you would hope so.
Ain't gonna make the 1 year anniversary.
No, I guess not. Can't have the cake and eat it too. I
No.
guess. All right, we're gonna take a break here in the Coffee and program. Comments and questions can be called in 766-1240. This portion of Coffee and has been sponsored by the St. Antoine Communities. They're in North Smithfield. Dave, do you see their phone number?
767-3500.
Thank you very much. We hope Melissa can join us next week here on the
she's
Coffee
enjoying
and program.
vacation.
We certainly hope so.
Canopy Lake is the place you can take everyone in the family. There's so much more to see in Canopy. Summer fun in the summer sun. Canopy Lake.
Canopy Lake Park in Salem, New Hampshire is #1 for family fun and excitement. Take a dip in our Castaway Island water park or soar through the air on over 50 rides, all included in park admission. Plus, come see the costume characters performing in Critters Live, visit with a real-life mermaid in Castaway Island, or check out our fireworks displays over the lake on Friday nights through the end of August, weather permitting. Discounted date-specific tickets are now available online in advance at canopy.com. Take Route 93 to exit 2 or 3 in Salem, New Hampshire to Canopy Lake Park, where parking is free. For hours, directions, tickets, and complete information, visit canopy.com.
There's so much more to see in Canopy. Summer fun in the summer sun. Canopy Lake Park.
This Friday, July 28th at the Lebanon Free Concerts at Woonsocket's River Island Art Park, we open with the high-energy world debut of Paris Scribe and Big Frank at 6 p.m. Then, at 7:30, our headliner band begs the question, what do you get with a ukulele, an electric violin, and two guys who look like rappers? You get great music with B-Twins.
No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as my team sing with me. Oh, darling, stay.
Live music, food trucks, on-site bar, kids' activities, and activities for everyone with the dynamic Jerry from Jerry's Bluffing Boutique. If you can't come this week, the concerts will be broadcast live over the air on ON AM and FM stereo radio and streamed live at WoonsocketRadio.com or watch in your home on your smart TV via the ON Worldwide channel on YouTube. Our broadcast is sponsored in part by Navigant Credit Union, Thunder Mist Health Center, Casey for Congress campaign, Woonsocket City Councilman John Ward, Rhode Island State Representative Robert Phillips, and Born O Uniforms.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
ON Radio.
Coffee in on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning. Joe Callahan here with Tim Draper and Dave Richards. Melissa Smith could not join us this week. We hope Melissa can be here next week. Now, the Rhode Island Ethics Commission will always have nothing better to do. They voted unanimously. We're investigating lunch.
Lunch.
with,
Well, you know.
with the governor. That took place back in January of this year. Where are they going for lunch? That cost $228, by the way.
I think it
Capital
was
Grill.
Capital Grill. All right,
That's right there in the story.
Oh, you're right. Capital Grill, paid for by a lobbyist, and they said, "Well, you can't be doing that. It's well over $25 threshold."
Right.
Okay, but now McKee has downplayed the significance of the lunch, but that still doesn't matter, does it?
No, I think they were. I think the issue was that they said they would. They said they would reimburse the state. I think this is what it was. No, the lobbyist. The state was going to.
The lobbyist paid.
The governor's campaign committee would reimburse the lobbyist,
Okay.
and then but that happened after it got made public. So that's the issue. It's like, was it really ever going to be done, or?
How far?
Did it
Okay,
just
lunch
so
was in
happen?
January. When did they get paid back?
Well, not until the story
April?
broke. Yeah, the story broke.
April,
I think
May?
in April, something like that. Yeah, and then they reimbursed the
Pay 'em back,
lobbyist.
pay 'em back.
Right, right.
And so, okay.
I got to think that because I'm somewhat skeptical in life. I think that this stuff happens all the time. It just doesn't ever get reported on because it's not necessarily as high a level as the governor, and they're not
Yeah.
in big political races like that. But
I'm sure lobbyists pay for a ton of things
I
that
know,
you never hear
I know,
about.
I know. But
We won't call it lunch. We'll call it.
there's a lot
stipend,
of there's
you
a
know?
lot of a lot of political figures who are very conscious of what they can and can't take.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to offer to buy somebody a drink or two somewhere, and they're
no.
like, no, I can't accept that. I'm like, okay, I'm not
Just-
a lobbyist.
just
I'm
because
just
they're
I
a
wanted to do it
politician?
because I was your friend. But yeah, and I totally respect that.
And
I'm
what's
not-
the reason? It's just it.
Well, I think they don't want to have that appearance of
Accepting
trying to,
the,
if there's any, they don't want to look like there was any favors granted, and again, I had nothing to venture or gain
Yeah.
from this encounter. It was probably just a chance encounter with somebody, but I respect the fact that they were, hey, listen, let me buy my own. Okay.
Well, how
No
about
worries. How about you buy me
How
one?
about you? But yeah, that's it. Is that
How about
okay?
how about your campaign? Buy me one.
Yeah. Is that still against the ethics violation? Could he buy you a drink?
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's if it's the same reverse. I mean, a lobbyist is trying to is registered in the state,
Right.
And they're trying to get things accomplished by influencing the information sources for the legislature, right? So that's their job.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it becomes more of an issue if they're trying to pay for things. Like, oh, all of a sudden now I'm going to go on a vacation in Florida on
Now
somebody's
you're
boat.
now you're
and-
beholden to them. For
right.
something?
Now you're beholden, and they're trying to not make that be the case. So I get it.
All right. But speaking of the governor, he signed the declaration, and this Sunday is the 34th annual Governor's Bay Day at the beach.
It's great. So free beach passes. right?
Free beach parking.
for Rhode Islanders or for everybody.
We got to get him to do a river day
Should do a river day,
or Woonsocket Splash Park Day.
river dance.
I'm going to assume it's just for Rhode Island residents.
If you got a Rhode Island plate, you can park for free.
Yeah, and it's a free bus service if you're going to the beach,
Mm-hmm.
and free saltwater fishing for the day. Does that just mean if you're fishing off the pier?
Yeah, you don't have to have a license.
Yeah, right. You have to have a
Okay.
license for saltwater fishing as well
You
as
do?
freshwater fishing.
Yep.
Okay.
I've always resented that, but that's the way it is. And in Rhode Island, if your feet are on Rhode Island waters or a beach or rocks or whatever, and you're even fishing in the saltwater, you have to have a fishing license. Otherwise, what would the DEM cops do? I mean, they'd have nothing to enforce down there. Yes, I resent
Control
it
the
and I
campgrounds
make
and
fun of
stuff.
it. I mock it because I think it's wrong, but that's just my opinion. It is the law, and I will comply. However, on Sunday, you do not need the license to fish.
All right.
For
Grab a
that
pole
one
and head
day
down
on
to the
Ba-
beach.
On Bay Day, you can go out in a charter, not need any licenses. You do anything you want.
Do you
Go out
need-
in a dinghy.
Do you
and
need a
fish.
license when you go on a charter? If you were
Well, that's a gray area
Or
for me.
beach.
I haven't been on a charter in so very long.
Yeah.
I can't tell you that.
Like, I'm
I
trying
may
to-
be wrong on it.
I'm just wondering if you go on like there's a couple of them that go out of down in Point
Galilee.
Yeah.
Judith, Galilee, and if you get on the boat, does
Francis
that mean
fleet.
does that mean like you're
boat has the
licensed?
license.
Yeah, and then anybody that's on it that's paying
As a
customer
guest,
is
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case. But the last time I was on a charter, you didn't need a saltwater license, so I really don't know how the rules shaked out on that.
Yeah.
Are you still under? You can only catch so many fish. Is there a limit?
There's always a
on
limit.
saltwater?
There's
Even-
always a limit. Yeah, there's a limit for every species.
Mm-hmm.
For per fisher, there's a limit
Person.
for every
Yeah.
species.
Okay.
There
Well,
is.
that's this Sunday. The weather looks great, so it's going to be crowded at
Oh,
the beach.
gosh.
Oh man, I will be at the beach. It's just it will be at the beach at the Cape.
Now, it won't be crowded there. Don't
It won't
worry
be
about
in
it.
It's
Me
not
and-
Bay
me and
Day
Brewster.
there. You're missing
No,
out.
I know. This is the worst part about it is we have relatives who rented a house, and I have an aunt who lives in Florida who's coming up, and it was like the only day that we could go to the
All get
Cape
together,
and,
yeah.
and all get together as a little family. We haven't had a family gathering in a long time, so it's like, I got to drive to the Cape on a Sunday morning.
Driving onto the Cape on Sunday morning is going to be fine.
Driving off the Cape on
coming off
Sunday
the
afternoon
Cape.
is going to be a real nightmare. So
You
the
and I-
question is, what time do I want to leave?
Just call the office and say, I'll be late Monday.
Anytime after noon,
Oh,
it's just going to be
bad.
backed up.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll be
Oh,
backed
yeah.
up to about
And,
midnight.
and now starting at 10 and 11 because they know that people are leaving at noon.
Yeah, I know.
So when you can gauge it when you're going over the bridge.
Yeah.
Looking at the people getting off the bridge
It's
at
true.
that time. It's just
I
gonna
should,
be
I
worse.
say
We
that
should
from
put that
ex-
out as a public service
I
announcement.
say
Everybody
that
can
from
help me
experience
by
of
telling
trying
me
to
when the bus
drive past Washington, D.C. on the way to Florida or
Right.
vice versa. What happens, of course, is that you always try to time it so you're not during rush hour on the Beltway. And so is everybody who lives there. So at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Right.
you have heavy traffic and sometimes gridlock on the Beltway
Yeah.
because everybody left early, because everybody else left early, because everybody else was leaving early.
What I don't
And it
understand
just
is
keeps getting earlier and earlier.
Route 6 is a two-lane road in both directions. It's just
Yes.
2 lanes. The
Yeah.
bridge is 2 lanes. How does it get backed up? I mean, I know it's
Accidents?
people coming in and going and,
Yeah.
and merging into traffic and
rotaries.
that. Yeah, but if you're going, let's say you do the Sagamore Bridge, which is the second bridge, right?
All
Bourne
right.
is the first. The Sagamore Bridge, the only rotary you really would have any problem with would be the one in front of the old Christmas tree shops, because I think you get on right before the bridge. You can get on there, and so the question becomes: do I try to find all the back roads to get to that point, or do I just jump on Route 6 and just suck it up, Buttercup? Enjoy the traffic. Put on some nice music.
Enjoy the view.
Right, put on some nice music.
You can tune in ON on your smart device.
And listen to Casey Kasem.
Yeah,
Well, the
there
afternoon,
you go.
though,
That's right.
We'll probably leave around 5.
1984, that'd be a good year for you, no?
Yeah, it would be.
All right. On another note, the Rhode Island Department of Education and the Providence Public School District want to knock down Mount Pleasant High School.
Well, there were 3 options that they talked
Yeah?
about last night, right? There was knock it down and build it in the back, knock it down.
All right.
Then there was rehab it,
Rehab it. All right.
and then there was build a hybrid. They build something within the school. So what they're trying to do is preserve the facade.
All
Because
right.
that's the sort of the historic.
That's the historic part.
That's the thing that everybody loves.
Yeah.
But just make everything in back new.
New.
And then, you'll probably have to renovate some of the old building to do it.
This sounds like North Smithfield's issue with the police station.
Over here?
The options
Of
are
what?
similar.
Well, you know what? They did BF Norton School in Cumberland
Yeah.
many years ago when they reconstructed that. There was an issue with, they didn't want to tear the whole thing down. They left one wall in place
Right.
and then built the rest of the school around it.
In front, or where was the
Yeah, it was
wall?
in the front, like
Okay.
on High Street. Is it High Street or Broad Street? Broad Street.
Broad Street.
And so they built a school around it. Well, now the school's needs to be replaced, and so the big issue is what do you do with that? The current thinking, I think, and it was in the breeze a few weeks ago, is you put the new school in that playground and baseball field in the back, and then you eventually take down the school in the front. But now you can build a brand new school which will accommodate the growing population in that end of town. And they're, quite honestly, it's a competition between that and the charter school, the Mayoral Academy.
Yeah.
They want those students back in Cumberland. It costs us $4 million a year to send them somewhere else, so let's bring them back to Cumberland. But one of the appeals of the Mayoral Academy is they tend to be new schools with lots of new technology and lots of the latest and greatest, whereas the public schools are always fighting for dollars and
Yeah.
they're never at the cutting edge of anything. So this school would actually put the town in a position where it could be appealing to folks to come to the new school. They'd have, the staff would be trained accordingly, and so they're trying to draw people back to the school system, and that's one way to do it. And
Just-
quite honestly, they never get. That's an end of town that really needs to be, I think, should be taken
Addressed.
care of. Right, should be
Well,
taken care of.
on statewide, elected officials for the Mount Pleasant High School, they're not in favor of demolishing Mount Pleasant High.
Right.
They probably want to go with something that
I think it's
you're
a hybrid, yeah.
suggested. Let's make.
Well, they're
the
running
front
for
the
re-election
same.
next year.
Yeah,
so-
true.
Oh,
I mean, it's
no,
a
we
very
can't do
pretty
that.
school. If anybody's ever been by it, it certainly is an
huge.
attractive looking school. It's massive.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you can save some of that design, that architecture on the front of it, where everybody would see
Do they
it.
still use that football field that's in the back? That always looked like it was falling
City
down.
Stadium.
Yeah.
Well, they tore half of it down.
Yeah.
And what's left there hasn't been maintained to the best.
Right.
But City Stadium is still there, yeah.
I wonder if the football team still uses it for games and things like that.
Well, I know the Interscholastic League stopped using it for the Super Bowls
Yeah.
and went to Cranston instead.
Yep.
But I can't tell you if they use City Stadium for anything anymore. Woonsocket hasn't. We haven't had a reason to do a broadcast from there in quite a number of years, well before the pandemic.
All right. Break time once again here in the Coffee and program, and time for a look at the weather forecast being brought to you by Unbound.org.
The National Weather Service has issued a heat advisory for today for heat and humidity. Sunny skies today with a high of 89 degrees. Tonight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 68. Thursday's weather, a slight chance of showers and thunderstorm, partly sunny with a high of 92. Thursday night, a 50-50 chance of showers and thunderstorms. Friday's weather, sunny and 93. Saturday, a good chance of showers in the afternoon, partial sunshine, high of 91. Sunday, mostly sunny and 80. Monday, mostly sunny and 81. And next Tuesday, sunshine and 79.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with sunny skies. We have 72 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own at unbound.org.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love.
And I just want to add on to the Krakow recorded message from their Facebook page. Focaccia and ciabatta bread available right now. You know, the Bread for Freedom movement continues on at Krakow, where they're taking a portion of the profits and sending it over for Ukrainian relief. And this past weekend, they had the big special of chicken parmigiano with ziti, their own recipe made right there. You might stop in and ask Marta or Mom whether there's any of the ziti left, because it was yummy, yummy, yummy at Krakow Deli on Social Street.
Got some flowers for you.
Thank you. They're beautiful.
Beautiful flowers are what you'll find at Park Square Florist. Whether you want to celebrate a special occasion, say I love you, or simply bring a smile to someone's face, Park Square Florist has the ideal floral arrangements just for you. Plus, there's so much more at Park Square Florist. Stop in today to see the active wings butterflies and dragonflies. The wings actually move. This is a fantastic indoor decoration, very relaxing. And Bertie County peanuts in different flavors and boxes of chocolates are available at Park Square Florist, 1300 Park Avenue, Woonsocket, behind the Dunkin' Donuts. Park Square Florist, your full-service flower and gift shop.
Hello, this is Manny Brando. I hope you will listen to us each Sunday morning at 8:30. I will sing your favorite songs, and my wife Virginia will organize everything.
That's right, Manny. It's the Manny and Virginia Show every Sunday morning at 8:30 on ON, AM, and FM radio.
Coffee in on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards and Tim Draper. And Tim, time for our first message from Navigant Credit Union.
Thanks, Joe. You know, we have not talked about lending in a long time, probably because the rates have risen and folks have sort of slowed down their home improvement projects and things like that. But the reality is people haven't stopped buying houses. I think everybody understands that this rate environment that we're in right now is likely going to be temporary. How long, we don't know, but it's likely going to be temporary. And the rates will come back to a normal level at some point in the future. And when it does, you know, if you want to buy that house today because you found it, your dream house, and you want to get into it, you know, don't let the current rate environment stop you. You should give our team a call, ask them what your options are. Maybe it's an adjustable rate mortgage that gives you a little bit of a lower rate for a period of time. Maybe it's an FHA, a VHA, any of those types of loans that you might qualify for. But don't let the rate environment scare you if you're looking to buy that new house. If you want the dream house and you think you can swing it at the moment, you should really go ahead and do that, because when the time comes, you can always refinance it. And that's what happened many years ago. You know, rates were high. When they came down, people refinanced their mortgages to get into a lower rate. And it's just the cycle that happens. So don't let the rate environment scare you off of buying a new home, or let it scare you off of doing any improvements to your home. Give us a call at Navigate Credit Union, 233-4700. Ask to speak to one of our mortgage specialists. If you're looking to buy a house, if you're looking to do a home equity loan or home equity line, you can do that right. You can apply right online. You don't even have to talk to anybody. You can apply online, and you get approved in a very short period of time. So 233-4700 or navigantecu.org.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. And so is this the way to get elected?
Yes.
It is. All right. There's a candidate that's running for governor of New Hampshire, a Republican. Mm-hmm. And so the way she wants you to vote for her, she took a swipe at Massachusetts in her saying, hey, if you don't vote for me, the Republican, this is Kelly, a former U.S. Senator Kelly Ayotte in New Hampshire. Oh, yeah. If you don't vote for me, and if you vote for my opponent, the Democrat, then New Hampshire will turn into Massachusetts. And we don't want that.
Live free or die.
That's right. If I'm not elected, then New Hampshire will become Massachusetts, which has income tax, sales tax, and less freedom than New Hampshire.
Yeah, what?
And she also claimed that fentanyl and other drugs are coming north, right out of Lawrence and Lowell.
Well, I would like to know how wrong she actually is, because I'm not so sure she's all that wrong.
Well, she's probably right about the drugs, by the way.
Right. I don't know what her opponent.
Well, the question was, is that the way to get elected?
Yeah, no, it's not really the way to get elected. What are your ideas? How are you going to keep everything free and
as opposed
and independent and
no income tax,
free of drugs?
No sales tax.
Right. How do you plan on managing that budget?
Do you want us to become them?
Right. Right. You know, that is not the way to get elected. But too many. But you know what?
That's going to work.
We kind of do that here in Rhode Island.
How?
I saw two political ads where the first thing they talk about were MAGA Republicans.
Yeah.
If you don't elect me, you're going to get them.
Yeah.
So there's nothing about what I'm going to do to make the people of Rhode Island better. It's all about how if you don't vote for me, that's what you're going to get. So it's not that different than what New Hampshire's doing.
I guess not.
Kelly Ayotte's doing in New Hampshire. It's just a little weird that you would pick the entire state. But I'm just so turned off by tell me what you're going to do. How are you going to do it? How are you at least going to attempt to do it? Right? I'm going to build bridges. I'm going to talk to people. I believe these things are important, and here's how I'm going to do it. I'm just so tired of the whole. How many MAGA Republicans are in Rhode Island to begin with?
Well, let's start counting.
Yeah.
If there's only 1 million people in the state,
right?
Okay, maybe 100,000.
And there's like no Republicans running for any office anywhere because there's almost no Republican Party. So you're branding this very small group of people. It's a tactic that they use that's all about threats and intimidation. And
so if you're a Republican, are you automatically a MAGA Republican?
That's a good question. Because
it depends if it's a Democrat saying it, yes.
Well, it's a Democrat saying
right.
it.
So
because they see it as a negative thing.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm personally offended by that.
Yeah.
Because I find myself to be on the conservative side of things. I was a registered Republican for all my entire voting career, except for this when Trump got, and then I became an independent because I can't stand him. But the interesting thing is I don't consider myself a MAGA anything.
Yeah.
But I do believe in personal responsibility and fiscal self-control and some of those very conservative things that are important to me, but that doesn't make me a bad person, right? So don't brand me as a MAGA anything just because I happen to follow some political directions of the Republican Party. But they will.
They will.
And so that's the thing I have to understand, which then makes me, or I get angry with them. And now I don't like them.
Yeah.
So this is the problem. We're labeling people so that we end up not liking them, one way or another.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see how it works out for Kelly Ayotte up there in New
Right.
Hampshire. As
Right.
running
The
for
people in
governor.
New
She
Hampshire
could
might
always
be-
resort to calling people racist. That's been done.
Right.
Or
Republican.
communists. Remember communists? That's anybody. I
No,
mean, like
that's almost
there's
like a
no
good
problem
thing
being
now.
a communist anymore,
that's a good
really.
thing.
Right.
But that boy, that used to be the kiss of death for you.
You can't say communist. You're a socialist because it sounds better.
Oh yeah.
Well, because you have your own media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. All right, let's get Tim's opinion on this. The governor of Texas is standing staunch against the federal government. It's my water fence, and you can't tell me to get out. And the feds are saying you didn't ask permission. I love that. You didn't ask us permission to put the fence in. I didn't know I had to.
Yeah.
Should the fence stay in the water? They claim that it's helping
Well,
keep the illegals out.
I think that it's the governor of Texas's decision to do that, and
Okay.
I don't think that
Well,
the federal government
okay.
should.
But
should
let,
throw
let
that
me
out there.
just point something out. The city of Woonsocket can't do diddly about certain things about the Blackstone River because the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers built the dam, controls the dam, takes responsibility for the waterway to a certain extent. And you got to go to them to hang Merry
Yes, I
Christmas
know.
on the dam
Well, that's true.
in lit letters. And they may not say they want that to happen. So I'm just trying to say that what we don't know is the federal government involved in the Rio Grande River there?
They say they are.
Well,
Are
they could say, I guess they could say they're involved
do
in
they
every river.
do
then.
they have responsibilities for upkeep, which would then in turn give them sign-off privileges on anything that the municipality was going to do or the state? So you got to ask that
So
question.
that's the threshold. If you maintain the river, then it's yours.
Then you become an interested party, and you have to sign off, or you're going to complain.
But isn't half of it in Mexico? I thought
Well,
that-
theoretically,
Yeah.
if you perceive that if you there's two ways of looking at it, and I don't know how they're looking at it. If you perceive that the waters that are part of the shore of the river are part of the landmass that is adjacent to it, then no, the actual border doesn't go down the center of the river, but then there are those who think that the border goes down the center of it. Great case in point would be Great Road from Park Square to Union Village, where the south side of that road, they say from the center line, is technically North Smithfield, and the north side is technically Woonsocket, right down to where the beef mine used to be. And so yeah. But then, in practical purposes, the state maintains the road because they maintain it. Now they have something to say about both sides.
Right. Did they build it? If the state built it, then they certainly
Now
should.
the road was there from Indian times. The
Well,
state improved it.
Improved it.
Yeah.
Okay. In the end, it's a political stunt, I think. I mean, he's trying to do something, but because our Congress doesn't
Turf
want to do
war.
anything about it.
yeah. What's that? Dave?
Turf war in the water.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's mine, and I'll do what I want with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Right.
All right.
But when it comes to waterways, the federal government, especially when the waterway is near a border with a foreign country or another country, the federal government has taken responsibility and rights about that, and they will have to be to sign off on any action taken by a lesser authority there. Case in point again is the ocean. It's not Rhode Island waters, it's U.S. waters. Although the federal government feels like it, they can let the state decide, what's their waters and stuff like that. But the federal government has a final say over it all because it is sovereign waters. And there is the country border to be concerned about between the United States and international waters.
Yeah, it's what, 200 miles or something like that?
Well, it is now. It used to be just 12.
Yeah.
Which was very interesting around New England because the islands actually bumped that 12 out, way out beyond 12 miles from the inland. It was 26 miles out.
Because
off,
of, like,
off the coast of
Nantucket
Rhode
and
Island was the
Block
U.S.
Island,
water
sure, yep.
because New Shoreham was there, 14 miles off the mainland coast, putting more 14 miles on top of the 12. Now 200, and nobody's got any questions anymore. 200 from the mainland.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that governor in Texas.
Of course, you can claim it, but you have to be able to hold it.
Right. He's been fighting that though for forever. That's his
Yeah.
big. That's his. And you know what? There's a lot of pressure on the southern border states to have to bring people in and deal with the issues that come with that. And it doesn't seem like the federal government really cares to help that much.
And the government of Mexico is they're not happy with that wall either.
I would imagine not.
No. All right. We're going to take another break here on the Coffee and program. More coming up. But, Tim, time for a second message from Navigant Credit Union, please.
All right, Joe, we'll talk a little bit more about this Embark account that we have at the credit union. It's designed for your young person, 13 to 22-year-old, who can open this account with just a $10 deposit. And it's a great account to teach young people financial responsibility. There's a money management tool they can use for budgeting. They can use online banking and mobile banking. They can check their accounts all the time. They'll get a debit card that they can use either for online purchases or in-store purchases. And the important thing there is that they have to learn that in order to use that card, there has to be something behind the card. There has to be some money in an account somewhere before you can just go to a store and use plastic. So we're really teaching them, that you can't just walk up to a cash register, give them your card, buy your Game Boy, and don't have any money in your account.
Sneak peek at reality.
Right, sneak peek at reality. And if you try to do that and the cashier says your card's been declined or rejected, that is an embarrassing moment, but it's also a life lesson. It's what they say, teachable moment.
Yeah.
So we hope that young people don't get to that point, that their parents are involved in these conversations with them, because parents are required to be on the account with the child, so the child just can't run wild amok with everything. And then the parent can help control the cards with card controls. And there's a whole bunch of other great features in the Embark account, but it is truly designed for that young person to teach them financial well-being. 233-4700, sorry.
That's like there was the old joke going around. I can't be overdrawn on my checking account. I still have checks in my check.
Still have checks on my checkbook.
I like that joke.
You would be amazed at how many people will
Claim
think that way.
Wow, it's a joke.
Well, I think it's because, it's not really that. They're trying to float balances in checking
Yeah,
accounts to
yeah.
try and pay bills, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't. All right. More coffee hands coming up. Comments and questions at 766-1240.
Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. In business, you don't last long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, I must know a thing or two. I've been in the investing business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay a quarterly dividend. We look for opportunities that we expect will go up in value, not every day, but over time. We take our responsibilities seriously and always place our client needs first in any investment decision. If you want to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, call Ed at 765-8880. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA, NSIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate. It's coming. It's the Holy Trinity Parish Carnival of the Parish Grounds on Park Square in Woonsocket. Wednesday, August 2nd through Saturday, August 5th. Ride all the Rockwell rides Wednesday night and Saturday afternoon with a one-price rides-all bracelet. The Holy Trinity Carnival Kitchen and Parish Games open from 6 to 11. Food trucks featuring Mickey G's clam cakes and chowder, Spanish cuisine, and bugged-out barbecue. Classroom bingo and entertainment every night. Plus fireworks Thursday night and a Saturday matinee. It's 4 nights and one great afternoon of summertime fun at the Holy Trinity Parish Carnival, Wednesday, August 2nd to Saturday, August 5th. Make your plans to be there.
It is Coffee and on ONAM at FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Tim
You're entirely
Draper
welcome, Joe.
And Dave Rich is right over
Thanks,
there.
Dave. My partners have abandoned me.
They'll be back.
They'll be back.
All right. In the news, it says a popular injectable weight loss drug called Ozempic is becoming hard to find, sending patients scrambling for an alternative. First of all, Ozempic's really for diabetes.
It's a diabetes drug, right?
Yeah.
But
there is a
helps
side
you
effect.
But yes, that helps you lose weight. So the people that just want to lose weight that don't have diabetes are grabbing up all the Ozempic.
Right. It's a prescription.
Which
it's
is keeping the price really high.
But it's a prescription drug.
It is.
So how do they get it?
From their doctor.
Does it go to the doctor and go, hi, I don't have diabetes, but I'd like Ozempic?
Yeah.
And the doctors are just giving it to them?
They say yes.
Well, then there should be a problem.
So a supplemental called berberine is gaining steam on social media, but experts say it's not a good replacement. Dr. Brian McFarland of the University of North Texas has been running weight loss trials for years and says supplements can help, but only when combined with a lifestyle change. I like my Oreos.
Yeah. I'll tell you, lifestyle change is not easy.
Berberine, he says, does not work on the body's metabolism in the same way that Ozempic does. Additionally, Dr. McFarland says most of the claims about the so-called weight loss supplement have not been verified by large peer-reviewed studies.
So how do they make those claims? Well, because they make them by saying, how do they say it? Most patients noticed weight loss or something like
Yes.
that. They don't actually say it does
It
weight
will.
loss. Yeah.
And it says that for the people to take it for the diabetes.
Right.
They say, and you may lose weight.
Right. Right.
Which kind of detaches the whole thing. It's kind of like, we've had reports that people lose weight, but that's not what we're trying to sell you.
Right. Yeah. We'd like you to be healthy and not have diabetes.
Well, I mean, people with diabetes are always conscious of the fact that if they lose weight, there's less complications with diabetes. So obviously that would be attractive to the audience they are trying to attract.
Exactly. Right.
All right, so if you take Ozempic, be on the lookout because you might have a little trouble finding it because now there's a shortage of it. All right, they're having the big the UFO meeting in Washington, D.C. is
Can't
today.
say UFOs anymore.
Sorry.
Joe. Only
Unidentified
only
aerial
nuts.
phenomena.
Only
Phenomena.
crazies and nuts see UFOs, Joe.
All right, former U.S. intelligence official David Grush will testify before the House Oversight Committee following his recent claims the government recovered technology of, quote, non-human origin. And we're keeping it from you.
It's Area 51.
He'll be joined by former Navy pilots who have reported multiple encounters of the unidentified aerial phenomena. Tennessee Republican Tim Burchett accused the federal government of hiding information on UFOs from Americans and Congress. Said Wednesday's hearing would focus on transparency. Lawmakers in both chambers in Congress have ramped up efforts for greater disclosures from the Pentagon. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has pushed legislation to require the release of more information on UFOs. And the way I see it, they will never release this information because we, collectively we, can't handle it.
Right.
There'll be panic.
I mean, Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the
Can't
truth.
handle the truth. That's
right.
exactly right. We have to keep this from the stupid people.
Right. Exactly.
kind
But
of thing.
I mean, I personally think that a lot of those things are probably just test aircraft that are probably being
We're not going to
produced by
tell
the
you about
government,
it because
but
we
they're not
don't
gonna
want
tell-
our
right.
enemies to tell
Exactly.
us know about it.
And
yeah.
some of them are probably from our enemies too.
Yeah.
You know, so
We can't let you know all about this.
Right.
So
there's a certain level of classification needs to be done,
Mhm.
and it's for everybody's common good.
You ever see the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind?
I did. I have.
Have you seen it, Dave?
Parts of it.
Devil's
haven't-
Tower.
That's
out
right.
of mashed potatoes.
That's right. But if you haven't seen it, and it took me a long time to see it, and I saw it like maybe 2 years ago.
Yep.
But it shows in the movie the government manipulating the people to get them out of this town.
Right.
Right.
And they
It was a new-
they
what did they call it? Was
manufactured a airborne something.
Airborne virus, right.
And you got to get out of
the
here
town.
because that's where the UFO was coming. Because you can't handle the truth.
Right.
So we manufactured, if you don't get out of here, you're going to die,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And they got them all out of town. I said, my God, it's being done.
Fortunately, Richard Dreyfuss did not believe that.
He did
that
not.
was-
You're
he
all
was-
lying
he
to
was-
us.
He was one of the ones.
All right, so I don't think anything's going to come out of this UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena thing coming up today. You just say, nope, we don't know what you're talking about, or it's all classified. We can't tell you.
Yeah. well,
So there you go.
probably.
So California, we all love California, right?
Well,
Well, I don't know.
I'll visit it.
Well, they're moving forward with a new approach to stimulant addiction, which is another name for drugs,
Right.
illegal drugs.
Well, there
They-
are also depressive chemicals that are addictive.
okay, this
yeah.
is the stimulant one. They want to pay people with gift cards as a reward for staying sober.
Really?
Yes.
Who's going to police that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's
It's-
going to pay for it?
He's
The
gonna
same
pay
people
for
who are paying for the restitution for people of color.
Right.
That's reparations.
Reparations.
Close enough.
Restitution.
So this is called
reparations. Begins with an R.
it's called contingency management.
Mm.
The model doles out financial incentives to users each time their drug tests are negative for the stimulants. Unlike other opioid addictions, there are no medications such as methadone for stimulant use disorder. California was the first state in the nation to win approval for a contingency management solution under Medicaid. Pilot programs are launching in Sacramento, San Francisco, and Los Angeles. Officials say the program has been effective. If the trial is successful, the hope is the state will allow expansion to serve everyone on Medi-Cal. Must be their version of Medicaid out there.
California. Yeah.
Well, how about the people that do it right the first time?
What do you mean?
I'm not on drugs. I don't get anything.
Well,
I get no free money. I get no free gift cards. I get no free
If you're not
gas.
special, you don't even get a nice parking place at
No,
the
you
supermarket, Joe.
don't.
You got to be
you
special.
gotta-
way over there.
Congratulations,
nice
you've
parking
done things
place.
right. You don't
I
need
get
help.
this pat on the back.
Yeah.
I could use a lot of help.
Yeah. Well, no, you don't. You're successful.
I
You're
could use free anything.
I think everybody could,
And they
but
say, well, you don't get it
I
because
could
do
use a
that.
good parking place.
you can't
you
have
own
it
the
'cause-
parking lot. You can have any place you want.
No, you don't get it. I can't park right next to the building because that's where we let people who have a hard time walking around go. And if I go to somebody else's parking place, oh, you can't be here. Mothers to be park here, handicap park there. If you're just picking up your stuff and we're buying it for you and you're paying for it, then you see park there. These 16 spaces are for you. No one else can park there. Before you know it, you are 12 or 13 rows down away from the door for no good reason. with
So
empty
it's
spots.
exercise to get to shopping,
parked
and then
it-
you
Well,
don't,
that's
you didn't
okay.
need those
I don't mind the exercise. I just resent being said, okay, well, you obey the rules. Nothing wrong with you. You're normal. You're
away.
no good.
I think
So
there's
we
a
don't-
lot. There's a lot of things out there.
We
that are-
don't respect normalcy. We don't respect people who obey the rules. We don't respect you.
So I park at Aldi's to go to Walmart.
That's exactly
One
right.
time, it was almost that bad. I
Yeah.
was in the second from the last row before Aldi's entrance
Okay.
to get to Walmart.
Yeah.
I
Yikes.
didn't go to Walmart that day. I went over to Aldi's. If you're going to
It's a shorter walk.
disrespect,
It is a shorter
if
one.
you're going to disrespect me that much, then
Yeah.
you don't deserve my money.
Right.
I don't know if you heard this. President Joe Biden's younger dog, Commander, he's been involved in 10 biting incidents.
Yeah. Seems like that's
Wow.
kind of got a problem with the dog.
The
And he-
U.S. Secret Service, they're concerned about their agent's safety.
Well, I think the dog's been to training.
It's
I
a
think-
it's a German Shepherd,
Yeah.
so it's a good-sized dog. Eh?
Right. I think that dog's been to training because it's
Really?
had this problem before. I think, or one of his dogs has.
The agent said in one incident, Commander clamped down on an officer's arm and thighs in November of 2022. Another incident in October, the First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, quote, couldn't regain control, not good,
No.
of Commander as he charged a member of the Secret Service staff. The White House said the Bidens are working on training Commander after the biting incidents.
We'll have to send the dog away to training school,
obedience
school. Right.
That's right. All right. We're running out
That
of
costs
time.
money,
so
though,
on
Joe,
It sure does.
That's a
Let's-
real big issue, though. That's
Of the
I
dog
mean,
biting people? Sure.
if you're a dog lover and you know this is a temp job and putting them down is forever,
Yeah.
and you're saying, oh my gosh, how do we get through this?
Can we just send the Commander over to Hunter, and Hunter, you take care of it?
Yeah.
Well, hey, okay, I suppose,
Yeah.
but it's your dog.
Yeah.
And how is the dog going to behave with another family? We don't know.
I don't know. Before we wrap things up,
That's a bigger problem than it looks.
it is. But Tim, do you like Skittles?
I do. I love Skittles.
All right, Skittles is coming out with a new flavor this month.
I heard.
Have you heard, David?
Yes.
In honor of National Mustard Day on August 5th, mustard-flavored Skittles will be making their debut.
I can't think of anything less I would want to eat.
Well, the new flavor is a collaboration with French's Yellow Mustard. That kind of makes sense.
Right, yeah.
Fans will get to taste the new flavors at French's French's Mustard Mobile that will be making stops in Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and New York City next week. Doesn't it? It just sounds terrible, doesn't it?
It just doesn't sound good. Does not sound good.
Mustard-flavored anything.
Well, they put vinegar on potato chips.
Oh, that's true.
That's awful, too.
That is awful, too.
Well, I guess if you're a mustard fan and you put it on sandwiches, you'll probably like it.
But everything is sweet on the Skittles side of it. And
Yeah.
then you take this tart
tartness.
mustard thing, and it's just like, how
Harsh.
is that?
Well, sweet and sour works.
Sweet
But this
and sour
isn't
sounds
sweet.
weird, but
This isn't. Yeah, that's right. Sweet and spicy tart. Maybe not.
I'm staying away from the mustard Skittles.
sugar-coated, gummies are always good. Those are
Is it at all
Sour
sugar?
Patch Kids are great. They're covered in sugar. Those are good. Sour and sweet.
You like
I
that
don't know if
stuff?
I'd like tart and sweet.
No. Chocolate covered
Well, they have
pretzels.
sweet tarts, you
Those,
know,
those are great.
They do have sweet tarts. I loved sweet tarts as
I
a
like
kid.
those as a kid as well.
because
Yep.
they use citric acid for the
Yeah.
tartness.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
mustard is a different type of.
Right.
Yeah.
You just suck on those in class. What's in your mouth? Cough drop. All right,
other one
then.
was
All right,
spree.
that was okay.
All right,
Hard
cough
covered.
for me. Ken,
Yeah.
got a cough drop in my mouth.
That's right. All right, we got to run. Thanks you very much for listening in. Tim Draper, thanks for coming in.
Joe, thanks for having me. Enjoy the God-given day, everyone.
Very good. Dave, thanks for coming in as well.
What a great time this has been.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember is coming your way at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. That heat dome you've been hearing about in the news that has baked the western part of the United States with record-breaking temperatures is spreading eastward. Now, it won't have the same